Chapter 80. Fighting to do good. Imrich, Sanchi was overjoyed. These cultivators were at least postnatal middle-stage martial artists. They consisted of poor scholars, rich martial artists, and noble immortals. To be able to cultivate to this level, it was impossible to not have some sort of wealth and assets. Their assets were easily worth more than 10,000 taels of silver each. Moreover, the higher their cultivation level, the richer they were. For example, a few Khanate and Chi refinement cultivators had Dharma artifacts and talismans that mortal money could not buy. Sanchi hence casually took them away. Walking to the other side, Sanchi looked over and realized that Taoist Kai had also fallen to the ground. The famous Chi cultivator of Silken City died just like that. Real lucky, Sanchi walked over and reached out to pull the storage bag sticking from his chest. But he could not pull it out. Surprised, he looked at the hand that was holding the storage bag tightly. He pulled it harder, but the hand was still holding it very tightly. Sanchi was speechless. This guy was still thinking about his storage bag even after he died. He increased his strength again. With his powerful physique, Daosuke's entire body was lifted up and dragged on the ground. F***CK. Was that necessary? Sanchi's face twitched. He reached out to pry Daosuke's hand away, but the moment he touched it, he realized that something was wrong. Not only was this guy's hand hot, but there was also spiritual energy flowing through him. It seemed like he was still alive. No wonder he was protecting his storage bag. The latter suddenly opened his eyes. The horsetail whisk that had fallen to the side suddenly lit up and flew towards him. Sanchi had no choice but to let go and take a step back. The soft horsetail whisk then left a mark on the ground that was half a foot deep. Which brat dared to steal my storage bag? Where's your etiquette and honor? Taoist Kai jumped up and stared at the empty area where Sanchi was. He cursed angrily. Believe it or not, I'll immediately use a heavenly lightning talisman to shatter your soul. At this moment, he was very angry. He was originally pretending to be dead and waiting for the situation to be clear before escaping. But in the end, some ghost thing actually tried to snatch his things. After being discovered by this fellow, Sanchi saw that there was no danger. He curled his lips and said, "You're the brat. I'm just here to collect the burial fee. Since you're not dead, there's no need to pay. It's you." Taoist Kai immediately recognized the voice. He stared at the source of the voice and used his divine consciousness to investigate the source of the voice. However, after searching for a while, he still couldn't find nor see anybody. He asked fearfully, "Are you the kid from the San family? If it wasn't me, who else could it be?" Sanchi clicked his tongue. "You're really a **king genius. You actually pretended to be dead here. Your technique is quite impressive. If I didn't come into contact with you, I wouldn't have noticed. HMPH, if I don't pretend to be dead, would you rather I waste my energy and power to kill my own teammates?" Taoist Kai grabbed the horsetail whisk and restrained his strength. He sneered, "I don't have your invisibility technique to protect me. The enemies have all left. You can help them capture Chang Sunji and the others. This is a good opportunity to make a contribution," Sanchi suggested. Taoist Kai squinted. "Why aren't you attacking? Why are you hiding here?" I saw that my brothers had died too tragically and wanted to bury them." Sanchi was thick-skinned. "Besides, I'm only a small Khanate cultivator. How can I be qualified to participate in the battle between extraordinary foundation establishment cultivators?" Taoist Kai felt that he had met a kindred spirit. He said disdainfully, "Don't you just want to take the opportunity to get rich? Do you think I can't tell? What do you know? In collecting money so that I can bury their corpses in peace. I don't want to be involved in karma," Sanchi said righteously. Taoist Kai rolled his eyes. "Fellow Taoist Song, you've really enlightened me. I should learn from you and do good deeds without leaving behind bad karma." He turned around and rushed towards a corpse and quickly took down a package. Sanchi cursed and hurriedly went to touch another corpse. "Immeasurable heavenly venerate, fellow Taoist Song, you've done many good deeds. It'll be quite difficult to dig a hole. Let me share some of your burden." Taoist K's eyes lit up. Now that there was no terrifying golden core cultivator, he should do something kind to comfort his frightened heart. Swoosh. His movement technique was not bad. After walking around a few corpses, he managed to take out a pile of items. He caught a glimpse of a Kane cultivator's flying sword Dharma artifact. Just as he was about to pick it up, the flying sword disappeared into thin air and was picked up by Sanshi. He shouted, "Fellow Dao-san, these people had a lot of resentment when they died. You can't withstand it, it's better for me to go to hell." As he spoke, he hurriedly snatched away a Dharma artifact that looked like a bead from the wall, making Sanshi feel like he had lost $100 million. Shameless old man, Sanshi cursed silently. Originally, he could have plundered the wealth of at least 40 to 50 people here. Now that Daoist Kai had appeared, he had lost the wealth of at least 10 people. Daoist Kai smiled as he touched the corpse. He did not forget to persuade Sanshi. "Fellow Dao-san is still young. It's not appropriate for you to be too rich. Otherwise, you will easily lose control of your mentality and become bad. Sanshi has been rich since he was young and has long been ruined. I think a monk like you shouldn't be greedy for such vulgar things." Sanshi even began to use his phantom image steps. Otherwise, he felt that he would not be able to defeat this fellow. That's not true. Money is in the heart. And the heart of the immeasurable heavenly lore is in the heart. These mundane things are like floating clouds to me. Daoist Kai shook his head. HMPH. Sanshi could not be bothered to say anything else. He ran into the house to pick up more things. Daoist Kai felt that it would be easy to be robbed if he plundered together with Sanshi, so he ran to the other side to loot instead. Of the two of them, one was in the open, and the other was in the dark. They were fighting to loot the corpses and do good deeds. They quickly looted all the corpses in the courtyard. Fortunately, I managed to loot some before him. Otherwise, I would have suffered a huge loss. Sanshi rummaged through the things he had found in the few houses lying around the courtyard and realized that there were things belonging to 10 people or more that had disappeared where the boat had left. He guessed that it was taken away by the fishing old fellow. However, why would a golden core realm cultivator be interested in these people's relics? If Sanshi had discovered Chen Ning when he was spying while playing dead, he probably would have understood the reason. Puzzled, he walked around and came to the door again. The remaining living few were all here. Wuxia and the others had killed a few more in their dreamlike state and were still going on their rampage. He glanced at Daoist Kai, who didn't dare to come over, and walked over generously. He quietly took the things from the corpses that were lying beside Chen Yiling and the others. This invisibility talisman is really necessary in order to pilfer and philander without being discovered. Sanshi thought with mixed feelings. He then saw with his own eyes that a cultivator at the 7th level of Qi refinement, who because of his insufficient spiritual energy, had his head pierced by the Dharma artifact of the extraordinary invisible shadow guard. He screamed and flew to the ground, unwilling to die but still on the verge of death. It's still too hard to win. This is when they're all sleepwalking too and probably are not using their full strength. Sanshi sighed inwardly. He glanced at Daoist Kai, who had secretly gone over to pick up the Dharma artifacts and the storage bag of a 7th stage Qi refinement cultivator, and narrowed his eyes. If this fellow joined them again, Chen Yiling and the others would probably be dead by now. How odd. Wuxia's team should have all been affected by the strange thought, but yet this guy was not under its control at all. Moreover, without him, this guy would have benefited most from this tragedy. He would have been able to make a fortune just by looting corpses. He picked up a stone and threw it at Daoist Kai. Chen Yiling and Elder Du, who were struggling to resist, immediately noticed and stared at Daoist Kai. They originally thought that this person was going to attack them, but they realized that something was wrong. This guy was picking up the Dharma artifacts on the ground, and he seemed to be awake. Daoist K's face darkened. "FK, I was tricked by that kid.